Lately I've been feeling overwhelmed with brain fog, lack of motivation, and lack of creativity. Initially I attributed this to recent life events, such as becoming a father, turning 30, and getting a promotion at work. However, upon self-reflection, I realized that it's mostly due to how I spend my little moments throughout the day. One of those significant sources of distraction is my smartphone. When I could be jotting down simple thoughts, capturing memories, or simply embracing boredom, every moment is filled by the little device in my pocket. To address this, I've started replacing phone activities with a more analog approach. While not everything on this list is analog, the practice of taking things away from just using my phone to using other devices or using other tools has dramatically helped with my mental clarity, reignited my creativity, and just given me more quality time with my wife and baby boy. Let me show you what I've changed. So the first thing on my list is actually carrying around a notebook with me everywhere I go. The simple act of re-jotting down things with pen and paper has helped me dramatically remember the process without being like tied to a strict format or something within an app that you have to do it within a certain way. Simplicity of just writing on paper, specifically a blank page, you can do whatever you want with that. Being able to do things like mind mapping has also been significantly helpful. You can do these on apps and there are things that kind of like help with that, but again, just having a blank page, your pen can go wherever you want it to go. Whatever process that you feel in your mind kind of just helps you jot that down. And I've just found switching back to a journal has really helped me with just like clarifying all the stuff that's kind of in my head and more or less just getting it out so that I can then start to piece it where it needs to go, find its proper home. Whether or not I need to keep thinking about it, whether I need to just jot it and just throw it away, or if it actually becomes a creative idea or becomes something useful in my business or anything like that. So I rotate between two journals. Predominantly carry this one around with me. This is the Traveler's Notebook. Really all this is just kind of a leather sleeve that then you can buy these specifically designed inserts to kind of just fill whatever need that you need. So I specifically really like the bullet journal. Some of my approach with journaling has been taken from writer Carol's bullet journaling method. Tons of videos on YouTube about that method. I might even do some stuff later on. But that method has really helped me with just getting stuff out. It started off as like a simple to-do list and then moved into more of like a mental clarity kind of practice. I really love carrying around the Traveler's Notebook. I just love the leather look and aesthetic. So the Traveler's Notebook is great because that just stays in my bag, whether I'm carrying my backpack or I'm carrying a sling bag, it just fits in there really easily. But sometimes, I just want to go out and I still want to be able to jot down ideas. And while I still use like the Notes app on my phone sometimes if I'm just in a pinch, really this idea of switching back to a more analog feeling been really freeing for me. So I've been trying to keep that practice. So whenever I want to go out and about and I don't want to carry a bag with me, I've been taking around the Midori little A6 paper notebook that they have. This thing is great. It's thicker than some smaller ones, but it's enough to be able to like have enough like content in there, right? Like you're not just running through notebooks like crazy. This one I have is in the grid fashion. They don't actually have a bullet journal one. If they did, I would completely switch to that. But so I like the grid because again, it kind of keeps that same concept as the bullet journal. I found this to be just the perfect size, right? It just slips right into my back pocket. Been really easy to take around with me. It's also not super expensive, so I'm not really concerned if it gets bent or whatnot like that. Along with any journal practice or anything, right, you're gonna need a pen to go along with that or a pencil, whatever you fancy. I really like the Coeco AL Sport. That's a German pen company. This is a fountain pen. I really love this pen. This actually was my wife and I were on a baby moon up in Portland, Oregon. And I've been keeping my eye on these for a while, and one of the stationery stores up there had it, and I just I was like, babe, I gotta have it. And so this was kind of a baby moon gift from her to me, and so I love it. It's super small, easy to fit in your pocket. Also goes on the side. I have like a little pin clip that goes in on the Traveler's Journal. It just sits there if I'm doing that, or I literally just slide it into my pocket. Post-COVID, nobody really wants to use anybody else's pens, so having your own pen on you in your pocket has been a really great essential for my everyday carry setup, and this one is just perfect. The next thing that I've taken away from using on my phone and kind of like starting to carry with me more in this more analog approach is actually carrying a camera with me everywhere I go. You might have seen my previous video on the Leica M240. While I carry that camera with me almost everywhere that I go. This practice of like stopping taking photos on my phone, and don't get me wrong, I still take photos on my phone. There's moments where my son is crawling on the floor and he does something super cute and all I have is my phone. Of course I'm going to snap a photo of that. But the practice of kind of just having a camera with me has made me more intentional with looking for shots, looking for things to take. It's like, again, if I'm going to carry this thing with me, I need to make sure I'm using it. So actually having that has helped me to capture more memories that I probably wouldn't have captured. I probably just would have like left alone if all I had in my pocket was my phone. I wouldn't actually be searching for that moment to take. Just start carrying something with you. And it doesn't have to be, you know, Leicas I know are pretty expensive, so it doesn't have to be that. A lot of other great cameras, which I know are pricey, but the Ricoh GR system, those are really, really great, really compact, pocketable cameras that produce really, really great images. Fuji X100 system is really, really great. I know they've been super popular lately. A lot of YouTubers are talking about them. I did have the X100F, and that was a great camera. When I got it, it was 4 or 5 years old, and so it definitely a little bit older, but you know, some of the images that came out of that camera were really awesome. I'll throw a couple up on the screen right now. And so I highly recommend that. Or even I've also seen like an influx of people just using like super old point and shoots from like the early 2000s and getting these almost like film-like looks to them. But again, just the process of carrying a camera that it was designed just to take photos, and that was its sole purpose. That practice has helped me be more intentional with the moments that I'm capturing, helped me to, you know, get more memories. If what you have is your phone and you're being really, really intentional with that, I think that's awesome. Do that. Because again, the most important thing is to capture the memories, capture the moments. There's a quote by Chase Jarvis that goes something like this: "The best camera is the one that you have with you." I highly recommend trying to carry a separate camera with you and just kind of seeing what happens, seeing what moments or memories you can make with that. One of the things that I was really intentional about not getting was a smartwatch. I was really, really intrigued by the Apple Watches when they first came out, and to be honest, I'm still a little intrigued by the Apple Ultra. Just seeing like what it's capable of is really, really cool. However, I have a really, really hard time disconnecting sometimes from work-related tasks or people bugging me. I feel the need that I have to respond right then and there or take care of that situation. And I've been trying really, really hard to disconnect myself from that and coming back to it when I want to respond to something, or coming back to it when I have the mental space to respond to that. And I felt that having a smartwatch, being connected to iMessage or being connected to Slack or being connected to my email just allowed way too much in to like distract me or to call my attention off of something that I didn't really want to give attention to at that moment. One of the other things that I've done is turned off most of the notifications on my phone and set up specific times for certain notifications to come through. But that said, if I don't know what time it is, I'm going to pull my phone out and I might still see those notifications and get distracted. So I still think it's really important for me to carry a watch. And one of the watches for me that I really enjoy carrying is going to be the Casio Illuminator. While this watch is like a super classic design, it has the old analog screen on it. It technically can tell time in 7 different time zones, and you can program those, which is really cool. Got a stopwatch, it's got a timer, all that stuff like that. Really, it's just kind of the look of it that was really intriguing to me. And then there's a bunch of people all over the world, like on Etsy and other places, that are doing modifications for them, which is really cool. And I just went down a Pinterest rabbit hole one day and realized I need to try this watch. It's really cool. And the funny thing, it's a $30 watch. Like, you can get them $30 on Amazon, $30 at Walmart, and it's great. I've had more compliments on this watch than I have on any of my more expensive watches. Recently, I probably had just last week, 2 or 3 compliments. Somebody just saw it and oh wow, what an interesting watch. And that's it for this video today. Thanks again for joining me. This is kind of been something that's on my mind about just intentional living, right? Learning to become distraction free in a very distracted world. That's something I've been trying out. I've been trying a lot of different things recently and trying to read different books and watch different videos and stuff that teach about how to intentionally slow down. So whether that's mindfulness practices like meditation, or that's cutting notifications off on your iPhone, or that's intentionally slowing down your phone and even just deleting everything except for the phone and message function. Or this has just been an interesting journey, and it's one that I want to continue to explore. And if you all like content like this, let me know in the comments below. It's something that's intriguing to me and I'm finding it useful, and if it's useful to you, I'd love to keep making stuff around it. And as a community, let's just keep encouraging each other to be intentional with what we do, be intentional with our lives. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.